Right, so today I want to talk about this story out of global news. Now, again, it's something that's been in the news recently that I still wanted to talk about, and it's titled CBSA has lost track of 34,700 people due to be deported, Auditor General. Again, this is just goes to show just how much of a mess Canada is, that how do you just lose track of 34,000 people due to be deported? Now, again, why is there so many people um, backlog too? Like, why is there so many people backlogged? I don't get it. Like, if someone is due to be deported, why aren't they deported within the next week or so? Like, I don't understand. I mean, maybe there's been that much of a backlog because of the virus situation, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense that there would be so many. Um, we're talking about, 1,000 people a week piling up. Like, that doesn't make any sense again. So it just goes to show the incompetence of the Canadian government. Again, it's not just Justin Trudeau and all his cronies. It's from the top down, like CBSA, all this kind of stuff. Like, when someone is ordered to be or needs to be deported, why is there this big massive delay? Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, I know they could probably appeal it, but there's no way that everybody was appealing it. And again, a lot of people too. It's just like flat out. Like, I mean, the Liberian warlord guy. Like, I don't care. Like, you don't get to appeal. Like, people like that. People that commit crimes, all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't understand why there's such a hubbub here. Um, but the reality is that the left wants to bring in endless amounts of people, including ISIS terrorists, again. So, in their minds, there's literally nobody who they think shouldn't be allowed in. And again, because they believe that there's literally nobody that shouldn't be allowed in, um, they don't care about this stuff, to be honest. Like, that's got to be the only, because I don't see how a agency like this and a government could be so incompetent. The reality is that they probably just flat out don't care. So again, that's pretty much probably the take-home story. But again, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, how does something like this happen? So again, um, I don't know how it came out exactly. I don't want to. Again, they lost track of 34,700 people and was not conducting the regular follow-ups to locate them by opening each file at least every 3 years or once per year for people with criminal histories. Again, poor data entry was one core problem. The auditor found over 1,500 deportation orders weren't being monitored for enforcement, largely because of errors made by immigration and agency officers when they entered the orders into the immigration database. Again, I don't understand. Like, why is the system so lax? Like, it really doesn't make sense. Like, 1,500 deportation, sorry, follow-ups once every year for people with criminal histories. Why are people with criminal histories allowed to stay? I don't understand. Like, again, we have the left, or we're for law, or we're for reducing crime and decreasing poverty and all this kind of stuff, but yet you're for allowing people who have criminal histories who aren't supposed to be here to get to stay. Like, again, it's just be blatant insanity here, like just blatant insanity here. And now again, I don't know what exactly is going to happen with this. Like, there's got to be a way they can recover it. I'm not sure. Like, they have to be registered into the system somehow. I mean, all that stuff's got to be backed up somewhere. Like, it's not like a computer can crash and then everything's gone, right? Like, so there's got to be more to the story here. But again, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, this just goes to show again um, just how incompetent the government is. Like, really, just how incompetent the government is. So um, that's pretty much what I wanted to bring up. It is a crazy story in the way too. Like, how does this something like this happen? Like, seriously, how does something like this happen? And again, I don't know exactly. Again, there's clearly more to the story, but I think the point maintains is that why in the world, when someone's due to be deported, why is there such a lag process? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's, I think, the clear and utter reality too. And like, some of these people, it's years. Like, why does it take years to get someone deported? Like, I really, really, really don't understand, especially people with criminal histories. Like, if you have a criminal history, there should be no questions asked. Like, you're done. Like, you're done. I don't understand why, especially a violent criminal history. Like if it's something that's, selling pot or some garbage like that, yeah, I can understand. But especially a violent criminal history or something that could potentially very, very negatively affect the country, like there should be no questions asked. Like no questions asked. You're out. You're done. Don't even think about coming back here because we're gonna send you straight back, kind of thing. Um, so yeah, that should be the reality. Now I don't know exactly how the current system works, but the one thing I do know about the current system is that it is very bureaucratic. Stuff takes a lot longer to happen than it should, and we should reform the system so we can fix that garbage. Because the idea that it takes years to deport someone, like that doesn't make any sense. Like if you're ordered to be deported, you should be gone within the next week or so, a month at the very most. Um, Again, so that's pretty much that, what needs to be talked about there. But again, I think it's just a figment of the government just flat out not really caring, like not really caring in that the liberal government wants open borders. Like it's very obvious. They don't do anything about rocks and roads. So again, they want open borders. Like they want open borders because they can't win elections the old-fashioned way. In other words, convincing people to vote for them because they're actually going to fix things. Um, and their solution to that is, okay, we're just going to import hundreds of thousands of people every year from the third world who, vote for us, overwhelmingly. Again, that's the liberals' solution to all these problems. It's not, let's convince people to vote for us the old-fashioned way. It's we'll buy off the existing population through offering them free stuff, and we will have mass immigration that guarantees, or not guarantees, but increases chances of winning in the future. Basically, that's what their solution to it is. And the other big problem is that the right, usually through fears of being called racist, doesn't call them out on this kind of stuff enough. Like, they don't call them out on this kind of stuff enough. And it's like I've said a lot before, is that I think it would be nice to have immigrants and help people out and all that stuff, but the simple reality is that we can't afford it. Like we just can't afford it. I mean, the deficit this year is, as of right now, like $350 billion. I guarantee you it'll be higher when it's all said and done. Again, so we can't afford it. Like the only way that we should be having immigration is if, number one, there's no debt, and I'm no debt whatsoever. Number two, that unemployment is incredibly low, incredibly low. Like I'm talking probably below 4%, maybe even below 3%. Like, I mean, very, very low. And none of those things, it's not even close. Like, none of those are even close. If those things happen, yeah, we could have some immigration, but until then, no immigration, if you ask me. And that is the sane position. That is the sane position. It's like, it would be the someone disagreeing with me would be the equivalent of going up to a family who's currently spending, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. Like if they missed a paycheck, they would miss a payment on something. And it would be like going up to them and being like, hey, you can adopt a kid, you can afford to pay another, hundreds of dollars every month to, feed and clothe and support this kid. Like you can do it. Like again, that's the equivalent to where, I mean, Canada's even way more. Like it would be the equivalent to the family that's literally in like $100,000 of debt and, living big, by maxing out their credit cards and then saying, yeah, we should adopt another kid. Like that's what Canada's doing. So again, it's just craziness, and it's just something I wanted to bring up. Um, so anyway, if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my PayPal and email. I got linked in the description. Again, I appreciate any donations, but at the very least, just hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And last few things, check me out on BitChute, Parlay, and Twitter. All those links are in the description, so you can find them all there.